What's going on, folks? It's your boy, Baby Moy, and as usual, representing for ENT Hooligans and surprise, surprise, the debut show. That's right, not of the channel, of course, but the debut show of my main man, Austin Grace, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Just hanging out. Definitely excited to get on this channel finally.
Yeah, man. He was one of the proponents of this, man. When the idea was pitched out for ENT Hooligans, he was the first, should I say, to jump on board.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely excited for it, man. Definitely excited to give you guys some awesome content, some stuff to think about. So, definitely.
That's right, man, because other than being entertaining, as the title suggests, we are also here to be informative and to let you guys know what's up. Whether that
Definitely.
be, life learned lessons or whatever the case is, man. We're
Sure.
just here to entertain you.
For sure. Well, speaking of informing, unfortunately, I feel like we should cover this. That attack last night in London at the Ariana Grande show. Stupid.
Oh, snap.
crap.
Okay, you
Yeah.
got a I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you got a legitimate reaction from me. I had no idea that went on.
Really?
Yeah, fill me in with the details.
Yeah, dude.
Before we get to that, though, just want to do a quick reminder, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing, man, for thumbs up and for hitting that bell. I suggest y'all continue doing that so that way you guys could get your alerts and also show your boys a little love, y'all. A little love
definitely.
goes a long way because the world needs it. But back to Austin G.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, the whole London thing, but I haven't had a chance to pitch in about the YouTube subscribers. Man, I'm just amazed you guys support. We're just two guys doing our thing. We're not, well, three, I guess, because we had Ness as well. But it really means a lot that you guys would support us. We're just regular dudes. We're not anybody, we're not like famous, but everybody is a somebody to the Lord, I just want to let y'all know that. So, anyway, back to this whole London thing. Yeah, it was in Manchester, I believe is where it was. And I think that the terrorist came in through the subway somehow and detonated some bomb, and ISIS did claim responsibility for the attack, from what I understand. So yeah,
God.
dude, they're just... And as a matter of fact, almost a year ago, there was the Pulse nightclub attack, which I'm not too far from right now, as a matter of fact, here in Florida. So... It's crazy, dude. It's really crazy.
Were there any reported fatalities of any sort? Like any casualties?
Yes, I believe there was 28 people that died and like 50-something that were wounded, from what I understand.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, it's really crazy, dude. I don't mean to get political here, guys, and you guys are gonna forgive me, but I pray to God that this Donald Trump man has a backbone and he's gonna fight these people till the end. Because I'm just gonna be real with y'all, and you guys please forgive me, but Obama, he was a pushover, dude. I'm just being real, okay? I don't hate Obama. I may not agree with him entirely, but he refused to call a spade a spade. And when somebody attacks another country, man, you gotta stand up, call the people out when they need to be called out, and not stand for it, dude, because this is war. ISIS, all they want is to kill and destroy. I'm sorry for my diatribe right there, but it's real, dude.
It's alright, man. It's all about being
real
honest.
life, dude. And I did mention something about the Lord, but the thing is, we're all warriors, if you think about it.
Well, to some
we're all
effect,
fighting
yeah.
a good fight, if you will. So... yeah, that's my whole rant, dude. It's just amazing. So the thoughts and prayers with everybody
Absolutely.
who has been affected by this stupid, senseless act of violence. It really is, dude. People just bombing things just because they can and not really thinking. Because, here's the thing for you, dude. And there's something else that I was thinking. Even the decisions you make in your everyday life, it affects other people, whether you realize it or not.
From every single perspective that you could conjure up. I mean, the slightest phrase, the slightest gesture, you have no idea how it could either positively or negatively affect that person.
Yeah. You know, and even just as simple as like, okay, I'm going to go have a drink at the bar, and yet you get really drunk, get behind the wheel of a car, and then you get in an accident, hit somebody with a car or something, you know?
Correct.
So, and even texting and driving, you know, people don't think about and they do stupid things. Or maybe that was the wrong word, but I don't know, dude. So I guess, you know, I know that I need to do better about thinking about what I do. Everything I do and how I live my life, because people are watching, you know.
Of course.
And, yeah.
Go on.
And same with this show, you know, that's why, you know, I, for one, want to stay as humble as I can. And even if we do hit it, I still want to be the same way if we do happen to make some money, you know. I want to be the same, you know.
You know, there's people here on YouTube that obviously have been an inspiration to me in terms of venturing off in this exciting chapter of my life. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I see the way that they conduct themselves. And these are very successful people. I'm not going to mention names at this given point.
Yeah.
But the point is, I see how they carry on and how they conduct and the way that they treat their public, their fans, people that subscribe to them, and how they always make sure to answer to their fans and to be so loyal and thankful. And what that tells me is that a lot of these people on YouTube are very, very humble individuals in spite of all the money that they're making and in spite of all the luxurious things that they possess. I would assume they do. They still keep it together and they never forget their upbringing. And I think you know the one person that I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and he's definitely been a huge inspiration to me. And you know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna hold back any punches. I'm talking about Rad Brad, man. He's such, and I don't want to sound like I'm kissing up to the guy or anything, but
yeah,
he's a hell of a dude, man.
Yeah, it seems
I don't know him personally, obviously, but he's a hell of a dude.
Yeah, definitely. There's another guy on here on YouTube. He isn't as well known, but he does these Let's Plays of audio games. And let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. And I don't want this to draw attention, but yes, I am blind, and I still run a computer and things like that. And basically, audio games, what they are, it's a game that doesn't have any picture. It's all like audio based, like you hear things off to the left and to the right and things like that. And there's different cues and things like that. So yes, blind people can do a YouTube channel, and hopefully we can show you guys how we do the Xbox too, with the narrator. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a nice tutorial for those people who are still trying to figure out how to navigate through that UI, and it'll also be informative for people who don't necessarily understand how visually impaired folk go about playing video games or just navigating, for that matter. So
yeah, and that's kind of another reason I wanted to get on board with this project, so we could show people that, you know, just be open, because a lot of people, they have stereotypes about blind people, and we're hoping we can kind of break it a little bit.
Absolute. And we're not trying to make the blindness thing a selling point, because it shouldn't
like a
be.
pity. No,
right.
No,
it shouldn't be. If anything, let me put it this way: being the way that you are, you know, and like I quoted in past podcasts, there are people of many different walks of life. Okay, there are people who have their five senses more or less intact. There are people who are wheelchair bound. There are other people who are deaf, people who are blind. Point is, no matter your walk of life, you know, we all have something to give. We are all, in one way or another, instrumental when it comes to society, you know?
Yeah.
And not only that, no matter what you are, no matter what hand you've been dealt, the point is, we all, like I said before, aside us having something to give, it's just an extension of who we are, but it doesn't define who we are. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
We are a conglomerate of visually impaired people, but it doesn't define what we are in terms of our character, our personality.
Yeah, exactly. But I figured this was the first time on mic, so I wanted to kind of introduce myself a little bit, if you will, to the people who haven't heard me yet.
Of course, and the whole point behind this is to be real, not to hide what or who we are.
Exactly.
So, I mean, of course, we're not going to put the whole blindness thing in the forefront because, again, that's not going to be our selling point, and by all means, it shouldn't be.
No, but I just wanted to get that out there. So, but another thing that it does is it brings a different point of view, if you will, and you guys will get what I mean over time when certain topics come up, and we're like, we're going to come from a different perspective here.
Right. I definitely get where you're coming from here.
Yeah. So, trying to think here. Man, and something else I wanted to get into. I don't mean to be jumping all over the road. You guys are just going to have to deal with us. We're going to be all over the road, so if you guys are cool with that, man, I'll tell you what, man. These NBA finals, dude. Oh my goodness.
All right, let's
predictable.
Let's pencil that in.
God.
From the very start, you knew the two teams that were gonna.
Cavs and Warriors.
Come on.
The thing that kind of I guess didn't surprise me. Once what's his name, Kawhi Leonard went out for the Spurs. That was it. I was like, seriously?
Come on, who was their ace?
That's what I'm saying. Well, they don't have Tim Duncan anymore, and the other guy's out. Tony Parker, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tony Parker.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, dude. That's going to be interesting. But I hope the Warriors win. I really don't want to see the Cavaliers win again. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. But, see, and this is good because we talked about this once before. We don't want to harp on the playoffs too much. We actually have a couple of ideas that we've discussed once before. And now we can finally discuss it in a recording. I, for one, say best of 5, honestly, until
you
like
get to
the real
finals.
final. Yes, the real final is when you do it. Because 7 games, man, it drags on and on and on and on. But we haven't had barely any game 7s because everybody's been sweeping. I mean, the Warriors swept the Spurs, the Jazz, and the Clippers, and the Cavs swept the Pacers. Oh God! And who's the other team? Oh, it escapes me.
If I
the
remember.
Raptors.
There you go.
And Boston did.
They won on Sunday, I believe.
Yes, that 3-pointer, but let's all be real here. Unfortunately,
come on, you know what that means? It means
it doesn't mean anything. But that's what I'm saying. And speaking of Boston, I'm sure you guys are heard of this story. I believe it's Isaiah Thomas is the one that had his sister pass away, and he still kept doing his thing, man. That's pretty impressive, if you think about it.
People who face adversity of this magnitude, who are able to stomach that and just say, I'm going to play for the honor of said person, who says, okay, the show goes on because that's probably how you would have wanted it, and I don't see it as a form of disrespect, bro. If anything, no. I see it as a form of you honoring that person and really being defiant in a sense in elocuting and really exemplifying what that person in this life stood for.
Yeah.
Now personally, if you choose to withdraw from whatever task you got at hand at that given point, hey, that's you. I ain't calling people who prefer to be a part of the wake or whatever ceremonial activities take place during somebody's passing, that's on you. No problem with that at all. But, however,
Yeah.
I kind of have to stand up and really, really applaud people who are able to fight through that. People who are able to say, damn, a certain close person to me, personal friend of mine or relative passed on. I'm going to just take this day and dedicate this basketball game or football game or even a MMA fight to them.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of heart, man. It takes a lot of strength.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know. I thought that was really awesome. That it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna go do for the rest of the team. Because that's what it is. It's a team sport.
Exactly.
Basketball. Yeah, because I've been through death myself, and man, it can be brutal. It can be really draining, especially if it's unexpected like that. Like a car accident or something like that.
Right, it just catches you so
You just
off
don't
guard.
know. Yeah, it really does, and then it makes you evaluate your own life. Be like, hey, what am I doing? What can I do to make my life more, like fruitful or something? Like, what can I do, to live a better life?
And it's also a reminder that this life, it's borrowed, and time is definitely against us. This life is short, and by all means, we should all cherish it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We shouldn't hold grudges. We shouldn't have hate in our hearts, but we do because we're not constructed perfectly. Okay?
No.
And unfortunately, some people in life don't have the smoothest of roads. And I feel that, okay, I'm not justifying people who, how should I put it, who have a criminal record, sort of, or justifying people who quote unquote act the fool. But what I'm saying is, when we look at somebody and when we stamp them with, oh, that person is acting the fool, that person is reckless, that person is this, that person is that, instead of judging that individual, I think we should take time to understand and learn how that person came to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always done that, and, something else I'm thinking about, and we should even do that. I mean, yeah, I might have been a little bit ticked earlier about the whole ISIS thing, but the thing is, a lot of those people, they get really brainwashed into joining ISIS. They really do, if you think about it. That's the way that I really look at it. It may not be entirely their fault what they did. They were just so brainwashed. It's like, well, I want to do this for my God, or whatever you want to call it.
Again, not justifying the act in itself, but what we're saying is, if we took time to perhaps understand the psychology of that person, then, I mean, again, not asking to give these people a sob type story, but maybe if the world took time to understand individuals, we would be in much better shape than what we are today. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I try to understand people the best I can, honestly. Because a lot of people, they don't. They just run on emotion, and they're like, and it's like, wait a minute. Yeah.
A lot of people just like to say things just because they like to hear their own voice, or just because they like to say shit,
Yeah, because their own ego or something, right? They just want to puff up their own personality, like, oh yeah, look at me, like they're better,
right,
than somebody else,
Correct.
Which nobody's better than anybody, by the way. I just wanted to, I say this on my personal Facebook a lot, but that's the reason I want to do this channel, is to hopefully change people's minds by, listen, we're all in the same boat. We really are,
I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with thinking you're the best, and you have to. You have to, because if you don't, then what kind of a drive do you have?
Yeah.
You have to think that you're the best. Now, when you go ahead and when you boast, or when you, how do I put this? When you go on ahead and you make it all about you.
Yeah.
Then people are going to look at you and say, what is up with that person? Are they really genuine? So be careful in how you conduct yourself, how you word things, how you basically go about as a person, and be careful of who you want people to classify you as. And I'm not saying be a slave to society and really kiss up to what they want. Of course, be your own character. But to garner attention, you don't need to do all this extra crap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, if you're good at something or whatever it is that you do, like us, for instance, we'll tell people to subscribe to the video, but we're not going to harp on it. If people like what we do, then they like what we do. And if they don't, then they don't. We're not going to force people to subscribe to our channel, because that doesn't look very good.
Right.
We want to do it the authentic way. Let
the work speak for itself.
Yeah, because there's these like YouTube clubs and stuff that you could pay to join, but that's just messed up. We don't want that to happen, because then we'll be like, oh, if we do this, we can make this amount of money. No, I for one don't want to do that. I want to do it organically. Let it do its thing.
Pay to join, and you know what's funny about that? And I don't want to make myself or ourselves sound like we're big-ish, but
yeah,
a lot of these pay-to-join clubs, I bet you anything that we do a better job than them.
Probably, man.
Than most of them. I'm not gonna say that,
right.
But come on, man. If we were to really peer into it and look at what they do, I bet you we would be like, yeah, we produce better. Because a lot of times that's what happens. You pay for something thinking that you're going to get good quality, only to be disappointed in the end. Like, really, I paid for this? I could have been watching, I don't know, Markiplier or Radbrad or Yenti Hooligans.
Or something
cheap plug.
Right. But we're just going to let the content speak for ourselves, and our personalities be the drawing factor to this channel. Not just because we paid somebody or something. We sucked up to somebody.
Right, let the work, let God be the driving force in this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one thing about me too, and I don't mean to get all preachy or anything like that, but in everything that I do, I always put God first. And on my personal Facebook, for you guys who know me personally, y'all know that no matter what, even when it comes to posts in which I'm thankful for something, I'm always putting God first. Not forgetting my public, not forgetting my friends or my family, but God is always the center, the first, and the last.
Oh, yeah. Well, God is everything. And, while we're on the topic of God, this is a really good topic. A lot of you may have seen Christians. It's like, oh, well, give your money and and you'll be blessed. That's a huge scam, my friends. God doesn't want your money necessarily. I mean, yes, he does want 10% if you are a legitimate follower of him. But, it isn't about these prosperity gospel preachers. That isn't real gospel, my friend. When I drive around a BMW and everybody else is flat broke, that's not the real gospel, man. That's not what it is. That's not it, homie.
Yeah, the televangelist preachers,
yeah, it's really bad, dude.
I don't watch them.
I don't either, but I'm just saying.
No matter if they're on TV or on YouTube.
That's not real Christianity, man.
Maybe the only one that I pay attention to is MacArthur.
Yes.
Only because he keeps it real, man.
Another good one is John Piper.
Yes,
honestly.
yes.
John Piper's really good. But, the thing is, man, Christianity really, more than anything, yes, it's about God, but it's also about moving yourself out of the way. Like self-denial, basically. Like, it's about serving, not to be served. Jesus came to serve, not to be served. is what it
Correct.
says in the Bible. And I think we forget that, myself included. We should be like, we're too worried about our own lives. Be like, why not bless somebody? Because you never know what might happen. You really don't.
And piggybacking on what you said, yes, Jesus came to serve. He did the works of Father God. Just as Father God intended for him to do, and Jesus became the ultimate sacrifice. For who? For us.
Yeah. See, this is really cool, man. I don't mean to cut you off, but this is really cool. I mean, how many of you guys ever heard the gospel talked about like this? I mean, two guys talking about the gospel, and we're not. And here's something else for you. Here's something else on the whole hell topic. Yes, hell is real, and we're not like street preachers. They're telling you you're automatically going to hell. How do you know that? You're not God, my friend. You're really not God.
You're nobody's maker to determine that.
Yeah.
You're not somebody who just could either exalt or execute somebody.
Yeah. I mean, we all deserve hell. That's nice to say. We're all worthy of the hostel that's out there. But by God's grace, He saves us, and by us confessing that He is Lord, that's how we are saved.
Exactly.
Not by our works, but by the faith. It says that in the Bible. I mean, yes, the works are important, but some people lean on their works only.
And by the way, nobody is perfect.
No.
Do I necessarily live a let's get together and pray 24/7 type of life? No, I don't.
No.
I have impure thoughts. I've cussed, and I have in this podcast, I said the S word.
Yeah.
And some of you might be saying, oh, how could I be praising God, but yet at the same time, here I am, and I said the word, S-H-I-T.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody is.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that Mr. Pastor over there or Mr. Preacher has never gotten mad before and said, oh, shit.
Yeah. Right. And that's the whole point. That's why I want to do this, too. It showed people, said, listen, that's not what Christianity is about. It's not about squeaky clean being perfect. I mean, yeah, I still have my Jan Coke, rum and Coke here and there. Not like I used to, but yeah, I enjoy a drink, a beverage, But I don't do it very often, though. Moderation.
And my whole view on that as well is, listen, drinking in itself isn't a sin. What's a sin is the state of drunkenness.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't enjoy getting drunk anymore. I've been drunk a few times, but... Man, dude, talking about being drunk. I remember there was this one time when I had bought a couple bottles out of the liquor store. This was a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
And a $20 bottle of rum had hit the garage floor. And man, I was ticked. I was like, oh my goodness. I went in the house and I drank, what was it? Cold Slogger and root beer or something. Drank like 3 cups of it. I was like, oh my God. I was so angry. It's like, ugh.
Damn.
Yeah, I was gone, dude. I was gone. Oh man, dude, I don't know, dude. I kind of want to go somewhere, but I don't know if we should. Never mind.
Well, hold on, hold off on that if you want.
Yeah. Let's. Sorry.
But going back to that, man.
Yeah.
All this to say that we're not perfect.
Yeah.
And living a Christian life doesn't mean that you're perfect. Just because, yes, when you live a Christian life, you more or less try to follow the examples of Jesus the Christ. No. It doesn't mean that you are him. It doesn't mean that you embody each other.
No.
Because then you would be perfect.
Right. We know, God made us all different for a reason. Because if we were all the same, it'd be really boring. That would really suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brings me to this. Now, it would be boring if we were all just robots.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But then this really brings up this question. When it comes to, say, life in paradise. You know, when God judges and when everything is brought back again full circle as originally intended.
Mm-hmm.
One question that I can't help but to ask myself is, are we all just going to be a 24/7 church service all day? Or will we have still the free will, of course, without the traces of evil, but would we still have the free will to go and chill out and hang out and bug out with you know, the creatures of nature and say, hey, Austin, you know what? I'm going to go shoot at your place real quick. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Will we have that ability?
That's interesting. I do believe that we will, honestly. You know, because it's going to be heaven. I mean, it's going to be how as God intended. I don't think God wants to be stuck in church all the time. You know?
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, I'm not either, but
you know, but just the concept of doing the same thing over and over and over
I don't
for
think it's going to happen.
At least here and now, it just seems...
No, it's not. Dude, here's the thing. We don't know what's going to be like
That's true.
until we get there. It's going to be better than what we can even imagine. All the stuff that we're talking about.
And
God's like, come on, that's just a drop in the bucket. You know?
And that's
He's
just
like,
the
it's
thing.
way better.
And that's just the thing, man. Look, we are just sitting here and trying to come up with these ideas and saying, oh, it might just be a whole 24/7 glory, glory, amen type of fest, you know? But
No.
who knows how our mindset will change come the day?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know until we get there.
Maybe it will be that, and maybe at that given point in our lives, maybe we'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, more so than what we would today, because the concept, think about it today, in this this very sinful, not perfect form.
Yeah.
When we think about the concept of 24/7 hour church,
Yeah.
how do you view it?
Well, basically going to church all the time, being stuck in some building, like, oh man, I want to get outside, man. Even though it is hot outside, I want to have some fresh air.
Where's the football? Where's the football? Where's the basketball? Where are the video games, man?
Where's the sports? Where's the food, man? I need coffee or something. I'm going to sleep here.
Again, and not trying to listen.
No.
I know how people can understand this, but we're not trying to be disrespectful. I don't think we're being. I'm just saying the natural thought would be, it's boring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It really is. I mean, especially to the average person, they're like, church Sunday morning? Come on, I'm getting a hangover, man. You know?
I mean,
like,
listen.
I'm getting over Saturday night, dude. You know?
I gotta
watch this stupid NFL game in London at 9 a.m.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just being real.
Why?
You never know.
Why?
Excuse me.
Why do they bother?
I don't
Why?
know, but I'm just saying.
Their next market is China.
Oh God. Well, that's gonna be on it. Oh,
you know what they care about in China?
Oh God, they do like basketball. That's one thing they do like. China.
But you know what? The rest of the world cares about football,
like real
not
football.
NFL. Football,
soccer.
Yeah.
But, wow, dude. Yeah, well, like I said, we're still all over the place, guys. So you guys don't mind us. We're gonna talk about the Lord the next minute, and then sports another minute. That's just how we do it here on the radio.
But
ENT Hooligans.
Nice. I like that. I like the sound of that, huh?
Yeah, I do too.
But why?
That's crazy.
The rest of the world gives a damn about soccer.
Right.
Some of the world gives a damn about rugby.
Yeah.
Some of the world gives a damn about cricket.
Yeah. And yeah, they like their tennis too.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. But
they like that. They don't care about no American football, and here's the thing. and they don't even. They hardly kick the ball. By the way, everybody's throwing the damn football. It's like, what can you call it? Let's call it something different. And all the crap that's in the NFL.
And listen, this is coming from me, and my boy Austin here. He obviously knows me personally.
Yes.
And he knows what a huge football freak I am.
Yeah. I mean, I like it somewhat, but I'm more of an NBA person, as you all will find out.
Right.
Basketball, I mean, I grew up here in Orlando, so I grew up with the Magic. So I just grew up with basketball. I almost said baseball. No.
Right, and everybody has the right to choose, but
yeah.
If this is coming from somebody who is a huge football fan, I'm standing here saying, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Really, China? Can you imagine what time that game is going to be on?
Oh, they're like 12 hours ahead of us, so...
Oh, Lord.
Well, if they do it at... I don't know what time they do in China. Let's say if they did it at like 1 in the afternoon, it'd be 1 a.m. the previous day here. It'd be like time travel up in that place.
Oh my God.
It would be like 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. on Sunday morning / Saturday night if they did it that way.
No, and to top it all off, these teams that they have play at an international type level, if we could put it that way even.
Oh, God.
It's not like they're giving these people good teams.
No.
I mean, really? The Jaguars?
The Jaguars. Oh, God.
Who the hell want to watch the Jaguars? The Redskins? Dude. Are you kidding me?
Freaking Texans, the Browns. Stuff like that. Dude, like, seriously? I mean, and the only fans of the teams are in the cities. I don't know any Jaguars fans around here. Are you kidding me?
Do you really think that some of these people know who to even cheer for?
They don't know. They're like, what's this crap? They call this football, but nobody is... They're hardly kicking the thing, for goodness sakes.
Listen, I'm sure there's fans of the NFL up in the UK. I personally know some, but come on,
but China?
China?
They don't know about no NFL up there. They know about basketball, but I don't know, dude.
Yeah, because basketball is more on an international type of playing field.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just pretty crazy, man. But now, when they have NBA games in London, that's kind of cool. I've heard a couple of those games over the season. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. But again, that's more acceptable because basketball is more internationally known.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more relatable, whereas football, I mean, nobody outside of America is going to be into it. They're like, that's not football. And speaking of football, man, I've really been, whenever I can and can get a soccer match to listen to, I've really been enjoying it. I really legitimately have. Like, I listen to the Orlando City games over here on the radio, and it's really cool to listen to. It really is. Especially when they're trying to get the goals. It really is fun.
The atmosphere of a soccer game, man. You have fans. You have crazy and rowdy fans, especially if you watch a European match. Remember, bro?
Yes.
The one that we tuned into on Fox Sports 1?
Yeah, that was a little bit ago. But yeah, no, that was amazing. I was like, wow, dude. You can't hear anything because everybody's always cheering and singing. I'm like, my goodness.
Yes. And it can't be compared to anything, man. Listen, I've heard loud audiences in the NBA, in the NFL, even in fight games. But the atmosphere, what soccer means to so many people around the world and how it unites the world in essence, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And people get so emotionally invested in it. Like Austin just said, people are always singing, chanting away, clapping. There's even instruments in the background.
Yeah, they got like drums and freaking horns.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
And you won't see that hardly anywhere else.
Oh, no. I mean, in the NBA game, you got those, what do you call it, like those clappers, those little blow-up things.
Yeah, and the air horns.
Yeah, you got that, but not like in a soccer. People are hitting drums and junk, for goodness sake, and they're, even here in Orlando, believe it or not, even in the major league things here in America, it's crazy. It's like, wow.
It is.
It's amazing.
And me, man, let me tell you something. I'm somebody that grew up watching soccer. My parents, of course, being Hispanic. And again, not trying to stereotype, because for all I know, I could have been American and my parents could have been into soccer. But all that to say this, it's very amazing and a beautiful thing for me, personally, to see how much soccer has grown here in the States. Because beforehand, the only means of watching soccer when I was growing up was either Italian soccer on Sunday mornings to tune into the Italian league, or you would have to catch it on Univision in Spanish, and those were the only two means of watching soccer. Nowadays, you have Univision, the regular Univision, you have Univision Deportes, you have Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, you have Fox, en Español, you have Telemundo, you have ESPN 1, 2, and ESPN 3. You have ESPN in Español. All these outlets now cover soccer.
It's crazy. I mean, even watching the NBA games, a lot of games were tape delayed back in the days because I heard people talk about it on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, man, when you think about it. And even like the way, I mean, I know it's a little bit different, but even the way that we get music, there's people who are probably listening to like if I were to tell you I used to record songs off the radio, they would have no idea. They'd be like, what? I'd be like, no, there wasn't no YouTube or Spotify or whatever at the time,
Exactly.
It's crazy, dude. I sound like the old man now. It's crazy. So, it's just amazing how, what's the term I'm looking for, like getting information or entertainment or getting sports or whatever. I mean, you can get anything, man. If you know how to do it, you can get like the Kodi or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever it is. I mean, people, it's just amazing, the internet. Like,
it's amazing how accessible everything is now.
I know, I mean, even through the phone. I mean, listen, I remember when phones, you were lucky to get dial-up. You were the man if you had like MSN Messenger on your phone or AIM.
Okay, but let me go this route.
Mm-hmm.
You look at how these phones are equipped with Facebook and Twitter, and you could do this, and you could check out that, and you could go shopping, and you could watch videos on YouTube, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
However, with all that said, you look at a flip phone, which can't do jack.
Mm-hmm.
And you're more likely to hold up a call. You're more likely for your call not to drop on a flip phone.
Yeah,
than a smartphone.
I know, believe me. I had a flip phone, man. Like, I had this freaking flip phone, track phone deal thing, and that thing hardly ever lost signal, dude. Like, I could go in an elevator, for goodness sake.
And no matter what company you was with, this is where the crazy crap comes in.
Yeah,
no matter what
Sprint,
company you... Right,
as bad as they were.
Even Sprint held your calls when it came to a flip phone.
Excuse me, sorry.
So next time you're hanging among a group of friends and your one dude over there or one girl over there has a flip phone, don't make fun of them, because when everybody else loses reception, that person's going to be the sole survivor.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Guaranteed. You heard it here.
Yep. Especially Motorola Razr. I don't care anybody tells you, those phones had the best signal on any of them. Any Motorola from that era. Motorola and Nokia were the top.
Oh my God, everybody and their mama was getting those. I mean, listen, man, I messed with Motorola too, okay?
I did too. Believe me.
I mess with mode.
Dude, listen. The first smartphone I had was a Nokia 9300, and this was running Symbian. And see, here's the thing. Okay, so the phone itself was, what was it, 400, I think.
Give it.
And then 500 for a deposit to go to Singular. This is when it was Singular before it was AT&T. And then I had to pay another 400 for a screen reader, just so I can install it on the Symbian, so I could use my phone. Now, I just go get an iPhone, even Android, even though Android isn't as polished as iOS is, it is usable, and the screener is free. You just put TalkBack.
Mm-hmm.
Even my computer, we had $800 for JAWS for Windows or whatever you want to do, but now you just do NVDA. And it's all open source and free. And speaking of screeners, while on this topic, the Windows screen reader has actually been discontinued because the company, there's actually a screen reader monopoly now. And I think the company is the FVO Group, but don't quote me on that. And they also own Zoom Text and Magic and all that crap, dude. So it is a huge monopoly, man.
Snap.
Huge. Either Magic and another product is going to go away, whether it be Magic or OpenBook. Or I'm sorry, not OpenBook. The Magnifier.
Mm-hmm.
Magic or Zoom Text. That's what it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And that's why I recommend, if you're visually impaired or whatever and you're on Windows, to please use NVDA and even donate to them if you can, man. We gotta keep supporting it, dude, because we can't let the monopoly have its way, man.
If I myself were in, we're in tandem with a Windows machine at this given point, yes, I would mess around with NVDA, because I used to back when I was messing with Windows, and I mean, it treated me well, bro.
Yeah,
it treated me well.
Really good.
It wasn't heavy on my machine.
Mm-mm.
It's smooth,
dude. It's
and here's another thing with it.
Crazy.
Here's another thing with it. With JFW, there would be problems using certain browsers.
Yes.
Oh,
that was only it. Well, there was 10 processes running, by the way. And here's something else. About Windows and JFW, I know some of you may know this, but it actually installs a display driver on your computer.
Yes, it does.
Not only do you have your Intel drivers or whatever your display card is, you have Freedom Scientific Mirror driver or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading a blog today. I think it's like Gons Blinko or something, and he's like, these screen reader people, they can actually turn it into spyware if they really wanted to. And because, the screen reader does whole speech, it turns the computer into speech.
Correct.
So they could start eavesdropping on blind people without even having them know it.
And that is a very, very, very scary and unsettling thought.
And that's what he brought up. I was like, oh my goodness. But NVDA, they would never do that. They're not interested in that. They can care less.
That is a very unsettling thought.
It's crazy. Well, I actually have a couple personal stories dealing with Freedom Scientific. I actually had to pay $900 back in 2009. I think my SMA was up on JAWS 7. And I think it was JAWS... Oh, goodness, what was it? 10? It was either 9 or 10. So I had to pay $900 to get current and for the SMAs, I think.
You got to be...
$900, dude.
Oh my
dude,
God.
You could buy
Listen, I'll get another computer.
Dude, I'm telling you. Like, you could pay your rent for a month or something. I don't know. There's much more valuable things you can do with that money. And here's something else for you. Now JAWS, it would do this authorization to where it would tie it to your computer.
Right, yeah.
And here's something for you. If you change the RAM, that's it. Any hardware change whatsoever, even installing a new USB device, I think, would actually jack your authorization.
Okay, that I was not aware of.
Yes.
That I did not.
Yes.
What?
It's bad, dude. It's
Are
even
you-
changing RAM.
Are you
Even
playing?
Dude, I'm not even lying to you. You could
It's
ask
just the
other people that we know.
freaking RAM, though.
That's what I'm telling you. You could even ask other people, and they'll tell you.
What? The
I know somebody else that
freak?
went through the same thing. And dude, I remember one time on Call of Duty Scientific about something to get my authorization account reset or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I had to get it reset a couple times because I don't remember what happened, but they asked me just like, do you know how to use a computer? I'm like, dude, listen, if you knew my history, listen, I've been touching computers since I was 15 months old, thank you very much. I touched a freaking Apple IIe in 1999 when I was a year old, thank you very much. I've been playing with computers all my life. I'm not Mr. Computer Whiz, but I know my way around a freaking computer, I promise you that, my friend. I can connect a flash drive to a computer with NVDA. Give me 5 minutes and I'll have it talking.
Correct.
One way or another. I know
Correct.
Windows like the back of my hand almost. So, that's my rant for you, man.
Oh, that's an insult, and I know because I know this dude personally. But that would be an insult for anybody.
I'm like, seriously, dude, I'm not Mr. Guy that lost his sight recently or something like that. No.
Why
I've
would
been playing with computers all my life.
Why would you ask something like that? And what's it to you? Just do your damn job.
Right.
Just do your damn job and freaking. You know what?
I know. It's crazy. I've never really had that happen. Somebody, what's term I'm looking for? Like, insult my intelligence like that. I was like,
That's
okay,
exactly what it was. It was a blatant insult on your intelligence.
You know what? I just prayed for him, said, Lord, they don't know what they do. You know, that's all I had to say. Just brush off your shoulders, man. That's all you gotta do, I guess. But and the thing about NVDA, if you have a touchscreen on your laptop, you can actually tell where things are. Like, I didn't know that the start button was on the top right corner of the computer. I didn't know that. And, like, the clock and the taskbar and all that are, like, on the bottom. I wasn't aware of that. And that's how iOS is, too. You can tell where things are by using the touchscreen, and VoiceOver will tell you where things exactly are located.
I think that is dope because when you're dealing with people who are sighted, you're able to tell them with more accurate precision. Yes. Okay, on the left-hand corner, you'll see this, or the middle of the screen, you'll see that, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. Like on the iPhone, I know, you know, that the clock is in the top middle of the screen, and then you got the Wi-Fi signal, and then your phone network and phone bars.
Those are up top.
Right, and I knew that because VoiceOver showed it to me. I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell somebody how to get around an iPhone now. I know the iPhone very well. I've been using it since iOS 4 on iPhone 4, back in 2010. So I know iPhone or iOS and Windows pretty well.
It's because of this guy that I actually got into iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny.
I was on Skype.
Yeah.
And he kind of joined the call. And
that's funny.
I believe
y'all were like,
I believe you were going to your fridge, right? And we heard the ice maker or some shit like that.
Yeah. Y'all were like, what?
I mean, wow, you want to talk about curveball? Boom! That's one right there.
I mean, dude, if I really had to, I could be in a car right now and be on the air through Skype or whatever it is. Whatever I need to do.
The only thing I wish, man, I wish you could do recordings in stereo.
I know, dude. That's my
business. On the iPhone, that would be dope.
Oh, the iPhone, yes, definitely. Dude, there's $20, $50 Android phones that could do stereo.
I know.
And the $700 iPhone can't do that. It's like, seriously? It's like, gosh,
that's ridiculous. Come on, man. Out of all things, you really can't include that.
Dude, my laptop can do stereo. Granted, it's kind of a fake stereo, as I like to call it, but it is stereo a little bit.
Nevertheless.
Yeah. Exactly, dude.
You know.
It's crazy.
I mean, and yeah, my computer could do that too, but, you know, obviously I have external sources that help that situation out, because on its own, it won't do it.
No. Now iPhone, I mean, granted, you can do stereo recording. It's not built in. You have to get a
Yes.
microphone and an
Yes.
adapter to go to Lightning and things of that nature.
Yes.
There's actually this new headset that's recently came out. I think they call it the Hook Verse, is what they call it.
What's it called?
The Hook Verse is what they call it.
Verse?
Yes.
As in HOOK?
Yes, I do. Yes. And the company is Hook Audio. HOOK Audio.
I've never heard of them.
No, it's a new concept. Actually, that's recently came out. I know it's a Bluetooth headset, but I think the microphones get wired into the phone somehow. Probably through Lightning in the case of iOS. I really don't know too much about it, but hopefully next time we do a show, I can get some information. I would look it up right now, but I'm on my laptop's internal mic, and you guys probably don't want to hear keyboard noise on the recording. So, but yeah, it's interesting. It was all fun through like Kickstarter.
Oh,
actually.
damn.
Yeah. No, it's a really interesting concept. It is kind of pricey because it just launched, but I do plan to get one. I do want to support these people.
How much are we looking at in terms of price tag? Do you remember?
I think it's 200 something, but you get good stuff with it though, man. It's nice quality stuff from what I understand. I do plan to get one. I do want to get one, and even get some audio from it right here on this channel if we can.
That'd be dope.
I'm gonna see what I could do, but yeah, it's interesting. I, for one, really enjoy binaural audio because it's like a picture. I mean, obviously, pictures don't do anything for me, so binaural audio is the closest thing. And binaural audio is basically like it's a left and a right microphone, and you have it set up in such a way that it's almost like an ear, if you will. It's like how your ears are set up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally how this recording sounds, like, literally. Yeah, it's even thrown me off, okay? Like, my friend gets a recording of walking to Fountain, and I literally thought it was there. It's like, whoa, it messed with my mind that bad. And I wasn't even, I was straight sober, not on nothing. That's how crazy this recording is.
No, it really
like,
does mess
whoa.
with you.
You can hear the
Speaking of
ambience.
recording,
Mm.
speaking
Sorry.
of recording and sound, remember when we? Okay, a little insight here.
Oh boy.
Remember when we were first testing out to do gameplays and such?
Mm-hmm.
And I always complained, man, if we could do stuff in stereo.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if shit sounded HD like. Because at the time we were doing things through third party. To put it in that perspective. I'm not going to mention the name, but
Right.
we had to start somewhere, and we had to test the grounds and really try to get our feet in, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly.
Now that I got this capture card, yo,
Exactly.
it's
I'm gonna give me one too. So,
freaking beautiful. And
between that and my mixer, or our mixer, my God.
and the capture card is nothing but this right here.
It's just a little, USB 3 device or something.
That's it. It's this
Crazy.
thing that's the size of maybe a little less. Yeah, it's smaller than an iPhone 4.
Oh, wow. Gosh, it's funny. I actually found my old iPhone 4 box laying around. That's pretty funny right there, but the iPhone 4 was the first iPhone that I'd ever owned, believe it or not, all the way back in 2010. Speaking of the iPhone 4.
You know, I liked that phone's design.
I really liked that phone.
Oh my god.
I tell you, it did good. It really did.
That phone's design was so
It's
dope.
so nice. It's really nice. I kind of miss it, honestly.
It felt really nice in your hands, bro.
Yeah.
I
I
ain't gonna
miss
lie.
I miss that thing. That thing is nice, dude. But I hope the iPhone 8 is going to be awesome. I think either way, I'm still going to get me one. I'm still with my 6S.
Isn't
over
that
here.
slated to come out in November?
I think they said it may not be as late as they believe. Actually, it might be September, October.
So they're gonna release it with the 7. What's it?
If they do a 7S, which they probably would, I imagine.
I mean, I've heard so much. I've heard that they're
I've heard
not
so many
going to
up
do
and
the
down.
7S. I heard that they are. I heard that they're just going to go straight to the 8. You know,
I don't know,
it's all up in the air at this given point.
but I know they're gonna do. Well, they gotta do something huge because 10th anniversary of the iPhone. Now that's crazy, dude. 10 years of the iPhone, man.
For it being the 10th
I can't believe
anniversary,
it.
for it being the 10th year anniversary of the iPhone, bro,
Yeah.
I don't think they should go with the half step.
No. They think they're gonna go all the way, dude.
Just go full decimal, man.
And I'm glad I waited, honestly.
Yeah, I really
I'm
don't
really
want a
excited.
7. I wasn't impressed.
I really wasn't either, honestly. I was like, nah, I'll keep my 6S.
Which does the same thing, really.
Pretty,
There's really no
pretty much,
significant
honestly.
changes. I mean, yeah, it's a tad faster, whatever. I mean,
but that's about it.
the 6S is still fast.
Yeah, no, 6S is still good. But for me, I used to have a Plus, and I'm gonna go back to a Plus because the better battery life. I just like the battery life on the Plus phones compared to a standard phone.
No, I know what you're saying, man. I mean,
Yes.
battery crap kills me, dude.
I know, dude. Especially me. I mean, well, my old 5S was worse than my old iPhone 5. Oh my goodness. Whew. Those things used to blow through the battery like it's nothing.
Bro, my iPhone 5 was
Woo!
crap at the tail end of its life.
Yes.
Oh,
So is my 4, dude.
God.
My 4 was like, oof.
I mean,
I had
this,
my 4 for 2 years.
this phone, the S that I have, the 6S,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's behind because obviously there's a new phone out. It's called the 7. I mean, I don't even know
Right.
if you could call it new, but okay.
Right.
It's
and
the
the 8's
latest.
about to be out.
And yet, the 6S is still kicking ass.
Yeah, no, it holds up pretty well, actually. It
I
really
like
does.
it. It performs well.
Yeah, I like it too. I don't have any complaints with it, honestly. You know, still get text and everything else I need to do, so it's fine.
And it still loads up everything relatively quickly.
And I'm very careful with my phone, dude. I've never had a cracked screen or nothing, because I really try not to drop my phone.
I'm like that
You know?
with a lot of things, bro.
Yeah, same here. I try to keep my... Like, I took my... I have another laptop. It's a bigger laptop. It's a Lotus laptop. It's a local company here in Altamont. And I took it to the company. And the guy's like, my goodness, it's like, do you ever use this thing? I'm like, yeah, I do. He couldn't even tell because I kept it in that good of condition. Like, the screen was still perfect and everything. He couldn't believe it.
You could
Because it was built in December of 2014. It
could've-
didn't look like it.
You could have sold it on Amazon and
Mm-hmm.
labeled it as like new.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of gadgets though, and iPhones and computers and all that, what about back in the day stuff, bro? You know, fads.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I'll tell you what. I remember, and this drove me up the wall. Even as a 10-year-old kid, the frickin' Beanie Babies, dude. Oh
my God.
goodness, it's so stupid. Like, seriously, a stupid. Oh, I'll tell you what was even worse though, were the stupid Furbies.
Oh my god, everybody and their mama rocked a Furby.
I know.
And then
it's
you
like,
had
all
the
you heard.
imitation Furbies. And then
sometimes
you
they'd even swear.
my God. Wait, what?
Sometimes they would even swear. They would.
Get out of here for real.
I'm like, oh crap. I'll tell you it. Now I don't know if this is true, but speaking of back in the day, I heard there was some sauce that sold on eBay. It was some McDonald's sauce from back in 1998, like some teriyaki sauce or something. I don't remember, but apparently it sold for like really expensive on eBay.
What price point are we talking here?
Like, I really don't remember. Maybe like 400,000. I really don't remember. But
Oh
it was
my
like way up there.
god!
Like for some sauce from 1998. Like seriously,
Well, they could go
Like-
shove it.
like you guys are tripping. Dude, $4,000. 400 grand. I could buy a house for God's sake. Okay, I want to buy a house.
I sure as hell wouldn't be here.
Dude, I'd be in my house wherever, whether it be in Brandon or here. I don't know. I'd be in my studio, okay? To give you that, I'd be in my soundproof studio right now.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Shoot.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, we'd both be chilling out right now, for goodness sake, in real life, if that was the case.
You telling me?
We'd be in my studio, a couple of cold ones in our hand or something, you know?
You're telling me, bro. Holy crap.
That's what we'd be doing.
I ain't spending all that money on no damn sauce.
Hold on. I am going to check something really quickly. Let's see, McDonald's sauce. I do want to check this just for being correct, but I think it was $4,000. Let me check.
Oh, I can't wait for the results of this.
Hold on. From the Rick and Morty. Oh, okay, it was only 14,000, 14K. But
Only.
That's still a lot.
Only. It
Dude,
was
that's a car.
Only for... They could...
Dude, you could buy a car, alright? I could buy somebody a brand new car with that if I really wanted. You know?
Oh my god, bro.
It's crazy. Okay, so it was a McNuggets sauce, I guess.
For that?
Yes.
Gee, you know something? I could just...
Oh, eBay. Good old
Why
eBay.
Why would anyone want to pay that much for a sauce? And I'm sorry, bro. eBay, it's a mother effing ripoff.
Right. Well, it depends on
once upon a time was good. It once upon a time treated me well.
Right. I bought a couple things off eBay recently, and it's been pretty good, honestly. It depends on who you deal with, honestly, is really who it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Amazon personally, but I've not had a problem with eBay, actually.
I've only bought one thing off of eBay, and that was Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
I bought a couple things off eBay. One was like a CD or something, and another was this handheld video game or something like that. So
handheld video games. Okay, speaking of fads and back in the day stuff.
Yes.
Do you remember those Tiger games?
Oh gosh, yeah. Of course.
Beep, beep,
That's
beep, beep,
That's all you heard.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh
beep,
goodness.
Beep, beep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, dude. It's crazy. Yep. Nobody's gonna know about that anymore. They're like, what's that? A handheld video game? What's that?
Every freaking Tiger handheld had a different button config.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I gotta restart. I mean, not that it was much, but it was annoying.
Oh yeah, dude. And it blows through batteries like it's nothing, man.
But you know why people bought them? Because it was the alternative to Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cheap solution if in case your parents couldn't afford a Game Boy for you.
Yeah.
So here, have a Tiger handheld. And boy, were they annoying. Thinking about it now, yeah, it seems cool, but oh my god, they were crap.
Yeah, dude. And dude, in Game Boys back then, they were, what, $200 or something.
Hell yeah.
Game Boys weren't cheap, dude. And the cartridges for them were what? Like 40, I think? They weren't cheap. I remember Nintendo 64 cartridges were $60. PlayStation games were $40.
Listen, for what it's worth, bro, video games now, when you look at it, are a lot cheaper than back then. Because at least now, yeah, okay, $300, $400 for an Xbox or PS4. Mm-hmm. But you're getting more than what you got when you spent almost the same amount for, say, a Sega Genesis or a Super NES.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically getting a computer now. I mean, these game systems can go on the internet, you know.
And look at that,
web browser, DVD player, Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm. I have seen cartridges back when there was this one particular game for the Sega Genesis. The cartridge ran for $100.
Mm-hmm.
Now you pay $100 for a game. It's because you're paying the $60 plus the DLC that comes out.
Special edition.
Yeah, which is fine. When you think about it in them terms, when you think about it like that, compare and contrast to back in the day, it's cheaper now.
Yeah. No, I think I know what game you're referring to, and back then, it was like an extra chip to get more power out of the Sega hardware.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, that was like what do you? Oh gosh, what was it? Daikon 64, and it came with that expansion. 4 MB expansion for your 64. That's funny. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my goodness. Oh,
But back
wow.
then, it was such a big deal.
That's how it was, man. Listen, I remember when the HD TVs came out back in the day, and it wasn't even 1080p or plasma 4K. No, this was just standard 720p. You're like, whoa, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't none of this 3D, 4K crap, whatever you want to call it.
And 3D, even though it was not even a long time ago, but that in itself was a fad, and I knew that that wasn't gonna topple HD.
No.
And you want my honest opinion? I really don't see 4K taking over HD either.
No, probably not.
Only because to truly, really enjoy 4K, you need a big ass projector, bro. You need that
like you need the
70
space.
inch. You need that maybe 54 or 55 and higher.
Yeah. Like my laptop screen right here is a 4K, as a matter of fact. It's a 12-inch laptop, and they put 4K in it. I'm like, okay.
But when you look at it, it still looks like HD on a small screen.
Right. I mean, me, I obviously don't have any relation to that, but I just can't imagine. See, I don't have any concept of this 4K crap nonsense. Show me the surround sound. That's what I can understand.
And 4K sound the same as HD.
Yeah, it really does.
Now, there is a difference between standard and HD sound.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know that. I remember that very well. So, I remember when cable was like all analog and staticky. Like cable was like that. But now it isn't. It's a lot better.
And cable would buffer like crazy.
Oh, dude, I remember. Man, I remember like taping things off of the VCR, for goodness sake.
Oh my god.
There was no DVR back then. Nope.
Yep, you would set the VCR, you would you'd get all the lines and all the static and all the what's it called? The grain, right? Yeah. Grain? Yeah.
The graining and
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, nobody's gonna know what a VCR is. They're like, what VCR? What the heck is that?
Do you know that there was a game console back then that ran off of VCR tapes?
Yes, I remember that. I was like, what? And there was one that used to run off a laser disc.
What?
Too, actually. Dude, a laser disc. I was like, what the heck?
What the hell was that called?
I do not know. A laser disc made me think of like a vinyl record is really what it made me think of.
Oh my god.
I'm like, what the freak?
Oh no. Oh, no.
And yes, well, yeah. And of course, the old PS1s and all them ran off a standard 700 megabyte CD.
Exactly.
And that's why some games were 4 CDs long. It's like, whoa.
Not only that, but you would get the soundtrack on them too.
Yeah.
That was so dope, man.
That was crazy. I'm like, wait a minute, you could listen to some PlayStation CDs and a CD player. It's like, whoa.
That is
It's
dope.
crazy.
I would always, every time I'd get a game for the PS1, I would always test that out. Let me
Same
pop
here.
it into my CD player. Let's see if this works.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh, that's so funny. Now, well, you can't do that because everything is Blu-ray based. So.
Yep. But man,
Yeah.
them things hold
Man, I
a
miss
lot
it.
of memory.
Oh, dude. And here's something else that I used to do. When I used to play like Twisted Metal and things like that,
Oh man.
you could actually swap out the CD and put in a music CD.
Yo, for
And it
real.
would play-
And
and,
it
and
would-
Ridge Racer too.
Yo, that soundtrack
that's
though.
funny.
That soundtrack.
Oh, dude, Ridge Racer. Oh my goodness. I know, dude. I know. Oh,
That soundtrack was
old school,
legit.
man. And Cyber Sled, dude. That was another one. Oh my god. Oh, I miss it, dude. Oh my goodness me, I miss it.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Oh, geez, dude, I miss it so much.
Good
Oh,
stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
anything else retro you want to cover?
Well, I mean, we got about 10 minutes until 3, so may as well get a couple things in while we can. Speaking of CDs, I'll tell you what was a big deal back in the day. That anti-shock thing on the CD players, you know?
Oh, man. Everybody was running rampant with that.
Like anti-shock, anti-skip, some to that effect. It's like, oh yeah, 45 seconds of anti-skip. It's like, oh, that's awesome. Because yes, I had a CD player, and every time you'd bump, it's like, oh, it would skip. Like, ugh, gosh darn it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, I remember having the iPod with a hard drive, and one time I forgot to turn it off, and my pocket was warm. It's like, oh crap, I didn't turn my iPod off. It had a literal hard drive in it.
Oh my god.
2.5. And man, let's be like, they sucked on the iPod because the hard drive is running the. Oh, and here's something else. Sometimes you have to wait for the hard drive to spin up to play music.
Oh my god, yeah. And sometimes that would take an eternity. Like, come on, will you load already?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all thought y'all had it bad. Now,
please.
Go back. Go back and then tell me. Go back and then tell me.
Play with iTunes on Windows to sync your stupid iPhone or iPod, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that was a nightmare back when.
Oof.
That was such a nightmare. Oh,
I know.
My god.
Dude, only thing I use iTunes for now is to put ringtones on my phone. Other than that, no, I don't touch iTunes.
Oh my god. But speaking of anti-shock, anti-bullying.
Oh yes, anti-bullying. Yes. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, nice segue, huh?
That's
nice play on with words. But anti-bullying, I know that's something that's been on your mind more or less. So
yeah, man, bullying is really messed up, dude. It really doesn't do anybody any good. And nowadays, people kill themselves.
And not only that, but there's so many methods of bullying now that it's even done psychologically through the web itself.
Internet, yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. People just have to be really careful, man. And a lot of the times the bullying doesn't mean anything. The people, they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just doing it just because they can make themselves feel better. I really don't know.
And people will bully individuals for anything, bro. Even for what they listen to.
Yeah,
they could be bullied for what they watch on TV, for how they dress.
Yeah, just for anything stupid, basically.
There's no reason for it.
No.
Now, have you ever experienced any form of bullying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because me growing up, I never really experienced bullying. So
I actually really did either, believe it or not. I mean, for the most part, maybe a little bit here and there, but not really. And now, people, I don't know what it is, but maybe they just don't know, or maybe they're just more, what's the term I'm looking for? Like, it leaves a mark on people more now, and it drives them to suicide. Like, they literally want to take their own life because of what somebody said about them. And it may not be true.
And that's a shame, man. You shouldn't spread rumors. You shouldn't spread rumors.
Like little kids, like 12-year-old kids, want to kill themselves just because of that. They haven't even gotten to high school. They haven't even gotten to figure out their full potential, and they're killing themselves all because of what somebody said. That isn't even true for all you know. It's so crazy, man. So much waste potential, man.
Hints goes back to something that was mentioned earlier during this podcast, and it's how we can impact people negatively or positively with words or gestures, and we don't know how far we could drive a person just because of our actions alone.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's every reaction has an equal or lesser or greater reaction, basically.
People are too busy criticizing and spreading rumors as opposed to just giving people a big up and complimenting.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Like, even if somebody gets a new car, it's like, oh, well, did you buy that car? Or You know?
People hating. Oh,
Yeah, because they don't have it.
First thing that's gonna come to mind is, oh, what'd you have to do to get that car? Like, dude, you don't make that money to get it. How do you know?
Right, that's what I'm saying. People just judge for stupid things. Right. Right. And that's why I'm so real on this YouTube channel and everything I do. I don't have nothing to hide. I promise you that. So, there you go.
He's as honest as they get, folks, and honesty is key. And it's the only way that you'll be perceived as someone who's loyal. And not only that, but when you're honest with people, you're able to connect, and because there's nothing to hide, no one, or for the most part, no one will ever have anything negative to say about you, even though no matter what you do, no matter what you venture in, you're always going to have a mixed review. Some people are going to love you, some people are going to like you, other people won't be fond of you at all. And that's something that, especially in doing what we're doing here, we understand and know that we're susceptible to all forms of criticism, rather it constructive, good, or bad.
Yeah. And even, well, I mean, if you're really close to somebody, you're good friends with them, yes, they can tell you something negative, but they can tell you, like, how to improve it. They won't be afraid to point out to you. And I don't mind that. I've had that happen before, actually. So.
Yeah, don't just point out the bad and leave it at that. If you're going to point out something, and if you're really going to constructively criticize somebody, tell them what it is you feel they could improve on. But don't force them to believe that that's what they need to improve on. Because one thing we got to be cognizant. One thing we got to be cognizant of is this: we may think, "Oh, that person could do this a little better," but maybe in their mind they know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
So let them be. They have their way of doing their own YouTube show. Everybody has their way of doing Let's Plays. Everybody has their way of podcasting. Yeah. Just because you have a perception of what something should be doesn't mean that that other person is going to, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't mean that that person's gonna be receptive to what you're saying and take that on and do as you say.
Yeah. And especially in radio. Like, I've been in internet radio for a long time now. And man, oh man, you want to talk about criticism, man. So, and while we're on this whole topic, before we end the show, if any of you guys are watching and you thought about doing a YouTube channel yourself, then why not just go out and do it, man? There's nobody stopping you except your own self. I really don't like competition, honestly. I think we're all in this together. We're better than nobody else, but we're the best at how we do this because we click. But, we're not going to talk anybody down. We're not going to bad talk anybody. We're only going to build people up here, man. That's what it's about. And we definitely appreciate you guys listening, by the way, and watching whatever it is. And we hope you guys enjoy this podcast. We really do. It was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed it. I can't wait. It's already 3 o'clock, dude. It's been a lot of fun. And we can disagree on something like, hey, I may not agree with you, but I respect your opinion. You're not going to hear any arguing or fighting on here. Because that doesn't make for good podcast, radio, whatever you want to call it.
No, hold on. The same principle that applies to Nestor applies to Austin. If he disagrees with me, he's fired on the spot.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Y'all know I love y'all, man.
Oh, that's funny.
But, like he said, man, listen, don't let anyone perturb you in doing whatever goal you set your mind to doing. If there's something that you want to do, no matter if the whole entire world comes against you, you stick to your ground and you tell people, I'm going to do this regardless of what you say, and damn it, I'm going to make it work. No matter what I have to do, and sacrifice is a big part of it, folks. Mm-hmm. You have to give a little to get a lot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay? But greed can't be your focal point. Hell, greed is bad. Okay. Yeah. Yes, ultimately, I am striving, and we all strive to become successful at some point, and get somewhere with this from a financial standpoint. But the overall to all this is to have fun, to inform you guys, to be entertaining, and just to have a good time, man, and to enjoy the ride along with you guys. Because this isn't just for our benefit. This isn't just to eventually put food on our tables, but this is also to impact, to inspire, and to also let you guys know that no matter what walk of life you're going through, there's nothing, and especially in God's eyes, the word impossible does not exist at all.
Exactly.
Hence, I like to call this portion of the cast Endless Possibilities.
Ah, I like it. That's an interesting name, because you're not going to know what to expect.
Exactly, and big up to Nestor for that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know, he came with ideas, so that's awesome. And by the way, while we're talking about coming with ideas, this whole ENT Hooligans, none of this, it wasn't any of my idea. That was all of Mo's doing, by the way.
Yeah, and
I'm not that creative.
You guys might have caught it on my Injustice gameplay. Moses is my real name, so.
Yes, and I'm Austin, a.k.a. The Blade, or
That's
whatever.
Right. The Blade. I'm gonna tell you guys that story at some point. We're gonna really capitalize on that and let you know what once was versus what is now.
Oh, thank goodness it's not that way anymore, dude.
Crazy.
Thank goodness. They'd kick us off YouTube, that's for sure. Oh
man.
My goodness.
See, we're hooligans now, but in more of a refreshing, more of a friendly type of nature.
Woo, dude. Yeah, no, we would have been almost in jail with things that we've done.
Oh my god.
Thank goodness I couldn't get the signal out very far. We were on a homebrew. We may as well get into it while we're on the topic.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, I ran this Shoutcast server off of my own computer. Oh, okay, well actually I should go back further. It's actually before that. We were on, oh goodness, like jamming 102.9 or something, I don't remember. Or, no, Werb Radio. That's what it was, Werb Radio. Oh god, but we were on this guy's radio station. I don't even know how this all started. He's like, yeah, you guys could be on from, what was it? 7 to 9.
That was it, 7 to 9. No more, like, no less.
We're like, screw that. We went to, what, 12? We were jacking this guy's all up, dude. And he wanted to be like, oh, I want to play Christian music. We're like, screw that. Forgive me for his term, but that faggot Christian music, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. That's what we thought back then. We're like, no, dude.
No, back then, that was the mindset. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not trying to be PC, but no offense by that word. That's just how I thought back then.
Right.
I don't think that now. I love Christian music. I love good old worship music and things of nature, but that's what I thought back then. I was 19 years old. We're like, screw that. We're going to play real music up on this thing. Okay, but
and we were stepping over other people's time slots and didn't give a damn, and then we would give out numbers and even exploit women.
Woo! Dude, this guy ticked us off so bad. We almost sent pizzas to this man's house. Like 100 pizzas.
We ordered 100 boxes of pizza.
We're like, yeah, 100 boxes of pizza.
But see, the final straw was when I actually... there was one particular show. Oh, you guys should play a disclaimer before you come on. And...
God.
Boy, oh boy, what a disclaimer it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a disclaimer. Instead, we said, okay, we'll play your disclaimer. First thing you hear was a woman having an orgasm.
Oh, I forgot about that part, dude. I tell you, we wanted to be like Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony, all of them. And here's something else.
Go ahead.
All the other stations, like, even established stations at the time, like, you know what? Screw all them. They all suck. Well better than they are. They're all a bunch of hack DJs, whatever, sitting there playing music, whatever they're doing. They're like, come on, you guys are tripping. And I remember we actually gave this guy his number.
And then the final straw, and I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But the final straw was when I gave out the dude's number.
Oh my god.
His personal number.
Yeah, his house number actually wasn't a cell number. It was a house number. And his house phone was blowing, dude. He was getting pranked left and right.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh. I mean, yeah, I won't front. It is funny, okay?
Oh, dude.
Would I go back to do that shit again? No, but
No, heck no.
you gotta have a sense of humor. It was kind of funny, though.
Now, I don't know if this is us that we did, but I remember there was some show where they called another, when they called a Chinese restaurant, and then they had another Chinese restaurant on in the background, and these people got in an argument over the radio in Chinese or something. It's like, whoa! I was like, holy junk.
You know, I did that before.
Oh, really?
I've
Okay, I
done
thought
that,
we did
yeah.
that on air. I kind of thought about doing it, but I was like, I don't know about that. I actually used to prank phone call people on a Skype out. I'd be like, "Oh yes, you're on the radio with me."
Oh my god. Good times, man. Good times.
And then, of course, there was the times when we'd be on, what is it, Ventrilo, Skype, I don't remember. And I'd be cracking the cam out and do like, boop, it'd go blah, blah, blah. Down the cam out, do like, belch on the air. And I can't do that no more, bro. I can't do that. That junk burns now. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys knew what we were back then versus what we are now, it's night and day. Obviously, now we conduct ourselves much more professionally and much more structured. And not only that, I mean, yeah, there were a few S words that I had said during this podcast, but again, nobody's perfect, you know.
I use the FHE word, but yeah.
No, the other reason I do that for, bro, is because I also don't want to portray that I'm this squeaky clean PG type guy, you know?
No, I'm not either. I'm not either.
I want to be real.
As much as some Christians would like to believe that, it's not true. We're all not that way. Sometimes we're all going to use some language, and so yeah, I'm just letting everybody know. You're going to hear some language in here, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with that said, man, I think we're going to wrap this up now, and... Folks, remember this. In God's eyes, we're all his children.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody is perfect. No matter if you are a Christian, if you're not a Christian, or what denomination, what religion you choose to follow, we're not perfect. We're not constructed to be perfect. But we sure as hell are constructed to love. And if we all took time to understand and show a little love towards each other, I think the world would be a better place. But make a difference, man. Make a difference today. Smile at somebody, wave hi. Text somebody. Ask them, hey, how you doing today? Believe me, folks, that goes a long, long, long way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you never know what your next door neighbor could be going through. And maybe all they need is a hi. Maybe all they need is a little bit of attention from you. 5 minutes. That's all it takes. For ENT Hooligans, I'm your boy, Baby Moy.
And I'm Austin. The
God
Blade.
bless. God bless to all. And one love, y'all.
Peace.
See ya! See ya!
Nice.